Hello dear students, hope all of you are safe and fine. Well, I'm going to continue with the same topic, subject verb concord, and this is part 2. We'll see some more rules and regulations that apply with pronouns and other nouns. Just having a quick recap, I told you the subject and verb work together in the subject verb concord or agreement. So singular subject has singular verb and plural subject has plural verbs. If the subject is singular, the verb ends in s or es. The rule breaker will be I and you, the pronouns I and you, which we'll be looking into in this video. Examples: Sam reads storybooks, I read storybooks, you read storybooks too. So the pronoun you always takes a plural verb. So even if it is referred to a single person or a plural to many people, always the verb is in plural form. Examples: you were invited to come, you are invited, you sing so well, you are asked to clean the room, you people have to go to the temple. Well, I have given you the subject pronouns through pictorial representation, and the common rules apply here is I is with the singular verb, you with plural verb, he, she, it will be singular verb with s, and then we with plural verb, you with plural verb, and they with the plural verb. Well, there are some indefinite pronouns which actually show unspecified objects or people, whether in plural or in singular form. They indicate the entire noun or some of the noun or none of the nouns. Used when we want to refer to a group of nouns without actually specifying who or how much. So you can see the indefinite pronoun list, which is in singular: another, anybody, anyone, anything, each, either, everybody, everyone, everything, little, much, neither, nobody, no one, nothing, one, other, somebody, someone, and something. Under the plural forms, we have both, few, many, others, several. And then you might have heard about singular and plural. So there are some indefinite pronouns which go with singular and plural, such as all, any, more, most, none, some, and such. A few of them you might have studied when we are looking into determiners. Well, we'll just see the usage. So children, here are a few examples of indefinite pronouns which have a singular verb following them. Everyone is required to attend the online class. Somebody knocks at the door. Nobody was absent for the examination. Something smells good. One of the keys doesn't fit the lock. Each of the students is missing her or his regular classes. Everybody needs his or her pencil kit. So you can see all the words like everyone, somebody, nobody, something, one of, each of, or everybody. They are all indefinite pronouns which are followed by singular verbs. And then we have the indefinite pronouns both, several, many, few, which are followed by plural form of verbs. Both were asking to be freed, several are seeking for justice, many will need the vaccines, few know what it really takes to get ahead. And the last one, there are some indefinite pronouns which actually take plural or singular verbs after them. Most of the cookies were eaten. Some sugar is to be added to the tea. All of the rooms are clean. All of the blood is donated by students. So you can see the usage there depending upon the usage, the noun which is specified, the verb is also followed. Next, if we have two subjects, one single and one plural, which are connected by either or neither or nor, the verb agrees with the nearer subject. So which is the last subject, that will be related to the verb which is used. Neither the players nor the coach is joining. So players was the first subject. The nearer subject to the helping verb is coach, that is the singular subject. So next is followed by singular verb. So that is neither of the players. Players is plural subject, nor the coach. Coach is actually the next subject which is in singular form. So the verb followed is. Either the conductor or the singers are attending the concert. So it is vice versa here. We have the first subject conductor in singular form. Singers is the next subject which is nearer to the verb, and that is in plural form. So that's why we have the plural form of verb. Hope it is clear. Then, if a sentence begins with here or there, the verb agrees with the subject which follows it. So, examples here and there are not subjects, that is to be noted. So, we have to look into the noun which is followed after the verb. Here are the ways on how to preserve meat. So, ways is actually a plural form, and then that's why we have the verb which is preceding in plural form. There is a huge gap. Huge gap is actually in singular form, so that's why we have the singular form of verb which is preceding the huge gap, that is. So the second example is there is a huge gap between the rich and the poor. When the subject indicates a fraction, percent, part, majority, sum, none, remainder, etc., the verb agrees with the noun in the of the phrase. So examples: 2/3 of the pie is gone. So we have used the phrase of the. So because of that, the verb that follows is depending on that particular phrase. 50% of the pies are gone. So after of the, that is the phrase of the, is followed by a noun. So that is taken into account, and then we write the verb after that noun. 50% of the pies are gone. All of the pie is gone. So here you can just notice the words pie in all the three sentences, and how the verb is followed according to the number of pies used there, or the number of the noun form used. Some more examples: 1/2 of the cake was consumed. 1/4 of the employees were attending the seminar. The first one, there is cake, that is singular, so that's why we have a singular verb was following. And then next we have employees, which is plural form, so the verb following that is actually were. Sometimes the pronouns who, that, and which are the subjects of the verb in the middle of the sentence. They become singular or plural according to the noun before them. So you can see the examples. Faisal is the scientist who writes the report. So here, when we have the pronouns like who, that, and which are the subjects of the verb in the middle of the sentence, so they become singular or plural based on the noun which is used before them. So here we just have scientist before who, so that's why we have writes, because it is in singular form. And then here in the second sentence we have men in plural form, and that's why we have the plural verb do following who. Well, children, adjectives used as nouns are always considered plural. So you can just see the poor are to be helped, the efficient are what this country needs. So always adjectives which act as nouns are considered to be plural. So because they are considered to be plural, they are always followed by plural form of verbs. The name of a country is always regarded as singular, and that's why we have a singular verb following it. Example: the Bahamas has beautiful beaches. Philippines is a wondrous place. So the name of a country is regarded as singular, and that's why we have has and is singular verbs following the names of a country. In the use of mathematical expressions, the following are accepted. Examples: 7 plus 3 is 10. 7 and 3 are 10. 5 times 2 are 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. So you can just see the differences based on the examples. Well, children, there are a lot of things that we get confused with this topic. So don't be misled with these things which are mentioned below. Don't be misled by phrases that come between the subject and the verb. One of the boxes is, though it is about the boxes which is in plural form, we have the phrase one of, so we have to consider what we are clearly speaking about. That's why one of the, if we have the phrase one of the, then the verb used will be in singular form. The people who read that report are the team led as well as his the team lead as well as his developers is. So the team lead, we are not talking about the developers, which is the second subject. We are talking about the team lead. So that's why we have a singular verb at the end. The manual, including all the chapters in the first section, is. So the manual is in singular form. The next subject is chapters. So but here we are talking about the manual, and that's why we are going to use the singular form of verb. So these are all long sentences. I told you, long subjects and sentences which have the extra information which is having about the first subject or the noun used. The woman with all the answers sits. Again, we have the second noun as answers, but we are talking about the woman, and that is in singular form, and that's why we have the verb which is also in singular form. Well, children, I want you to have a quick recap of the summary of subject-verb concord or agreement. Singular subjects take singular verbs and plural subjects take plural verbs. If there is more than one noun or pronoun in the subject, you need to work out which one the verb refers to. This is the head noun and the verb must agree with it. It will not always be the noun or pronoun directly in front of the verb. So we have to look into which one we are referring to actually. If two nouns are joined by and, you use a plural verb. If two nouns are joined by or nor, you generally use a singular verb. Words like each, every and neither take singular verbs. Words like several, many and few take plural verbs. Words like all, most, any and some take a singular verb with non-countable nouns or uncountable nouns, but a plural verb with plural nouns. Collective nouns like family, community and majority take a singular verb if their focus is on the whole entity. However, they take a plural verb if the focus is on individual members of the entity. So I just talked about this when we were talking about the company, organization's name and the team's name. Some words appear to be plural but are actually singular, so they take a singular verb. Example: politics, athletics, news, mathematics, etc. You cannot make plurals out of some commonly used academic words. So example: evidence, information, etc. So please keep all these things in mind. I know it's really confusing, but by practice definitely we can get well versed with this topic. Well, children, that's for today's class. Please refer the video of 1 and 2 together later, and then refer the reference material clearly. Work down on your assignment and practice a lot with all the sentences with different rules so that you can get familiar with this particular topic. Stay safe and take care.